I guess the creeper wants to eat some sweaty men.
It isn't dead.
Looks dead to me.
Jeepers Creepers 2.
What's up, Hellraisers, and welcome back to yet again another movie review. And if you didn't see my review on Jeepers Creepers 1, the link to that will be in the description down below. So this here is Jeepers Creepers 2. One of my subscribers commented on my Jeepers Creepers review, and he said you should review Jeepers Creepers 2. So, buddy, this is for you. So, this movie right here, holy fuck. This is a comedy, in my own opinion, because there's so much wrong with this movie that you just never caught this back in 2003 when you saw it. All these years later, you go back and watch it. This shit is hilarious. But before we dive into all the stuff that makes this movie so bad, let me give you a little bit of plot what this movie is about. This movie tells you a story about the creeper is on his very last day of feeding, and he has to consume as much as he can before he goes back into his cave and goes away, and another 23 years come by, and this time he has to go as fast as he can to consume before that happens. Keep that in mind, okay? His last day of feeding. And you're going to know why I say keep that in mind. So, Jeepers Creepers 2 is known for being, for some people it's so bad it's good, and some people just say it's bad, period. But let's just dive into the first pro. My first pro for this movie will have to be Ray Wise. Ray Wise himself and the fight that he brings to the creeper, because what happens in the opening of the movie, we'll get back to that opening in just a second, but the creeper ends up taking his son and flies away, and now Ray Wise has to find a way to take down this creeper. He knows that his son is probably still not alive, but that doesn't stop him from trying to take down this creeper because of that incident that happened in the first part of this movie. My next pro will have to be what I just said before. I said again, is the opening scene. I love the opening of this movie. Okay, the opening, I love the cornfield, I love the cinematography, the lighting, the way it looks, especially the scene when the creeper just hanging out on the cross, and then a little boy looked over, then the creeper snapped his head back, and immediately that little boy knew there was something off about that goddamn skull. He knew, hey, wait a minute, that motherfucker just moved. And so he walked over there, kind of see what it was, and then he started creeper feet moving, he started hands move, and all of a sudden, that's when he knew, oh, hell no, fuck you. He started running, and the creeper jumped off the fucking car. That whole opening is what kind of gets this movie going. It hits you with a sucker punch, and it doesn't stop there. Well, it should have ended there, because we'll get there. But like I said, that opening is gold. Go along with that pro will have to be Jonathan Brett. So in this movie, Jonathan Brett kind of brings more to the character. It's more a physical movement this time around. Specifically a scene on the bus where he's selecting the kids who want to eat some shit from. No pun intended when I say that. But he's selecting all these kids and doing like this and rolling his eyes in the back of his head. It's all through physical movement. He don't say shit. That's what makes the creeper even creepier to me, is that he don't say shit. He isn't like Freddy or Chucky, you know, he say things. No, the creeper don't have to say shit. He just picks you off and just do like this, and he know what he wants from that person. Jonathan Brett, like I said, so much fun this time around, but I kind of wish we would have kept that little bit of old stuff that we had with him in the first film, because in this movie, his performance is good, but just some of it just don't age very well, and we'll get there in just a second. The pro for me will have to be, going back to the creeper, is allowing the creeper to be a much more full-on monster, where this feels more like a monster movie. Now we get to see what he can really do. We see his wings, we see his face more often. We get to see what kind of ticked him a little bit, like what triggered him to do certain things, sort of. the more you watch the movie, you start to realize that this time around, the creeper ain't like what he was in the first film. This time, he means business, and he taking whatever he can take from a person to basically to add on to his feeding time. Kick things off with my first con will have to be the whole premonition thing where this girl was having these fucking premonitions about the creeper, not once, but twice. I'm like, the movie doesn't care to explain that at all. And I swear to God, don't go in the comments talking about some, well, this is how it's, they don't explain it. She just passed the fuck out and she sees Justin Long moving his fucking mouth really fucking fast like that, and all of a sudden he thinks every 23 days or whatever he gets to eat. Like, why is that premonition there? We could have just easily edited that out. This would have been a much more better movie, but the movie's not really that good. But like I said, the premonition is just really not. I feel like it don't belong there. A little bit of fun fact for you: the girl who played that specific character, I forgot her name in the movie, but the girl who played that character, her name is Nikki Icott or something. She passed away last year actually, so rest in peace, Angel. But it's not her fault, it's Victor Salva's fault with the writing, and we'll get more on the writing in just a second. But like I said, the whole premonition shit is just shouldn't have been there. It's unexplained. Just like I said in the first review, how this lady had this psychic vision, and it doesn't fully belong there because it was like exposition of shit we already seen. But in this movie, there's whole premonition bullshit, and that should have never happened. To the next con will have to be Victor Salva's writing. Yeah. So let me just clear this up. Okay, don't feel offended by this, but there is so much wrong with this movie. You got racists in this movie. You got some homosexual stuff in the movie. We'll get more on that later on. But there's so much stuff in this movie that just feels so out of place. This movie doesn't age really well considering how bad the dialogue is. The characters are all dicks. All the characters are assholes. You really don't know who to root for. Cause there's this one guy in this movie named Scotty, and to me it feels like in the writing, Victor wanted you to despise Scotty so much that Scotty was a racist. He was a fucking, supposed to be a secret gay guy. I don't understand this writing in this movie. This writing in this movie is horrendous. It's all over the place. It's so cringeworthy. None of it makes any sense. Victor Salva writing in this film really showed his flaws. Although the first film showed how good he can be if he's really passionate about something. But to me, it felt like he wasn't passionate about this at all. He just threw so much in this writing. Because like I said before, I said again, all the characters were assholes and dicks. You pretty much wanted everybody in this, at least for me, you pretty much want everybody in this fucking movie to die immediately. And another con for me will have to be how the creeper was just doing a bunch of nasty, creepy stuff on this bus. I mean, literally, just rolling his eyes in the back of his head and just being so, to me, it felt uneasy. And him just doing like this with his head, and then he licking the glass now. This is why people don't recommend this movie to people, because knowing what Victor Salva have done is what really makes this movie feel a little bit uncomfortable to watch, especially being a 31-year-old man. It's just so off-putting to me. And another con for me would have to be the fact that this is the creeper's last day of feeding. Yet he struggled with a fucking bus for almost, 80 or 90 minutes? But yet, early in the movie, they show him tear the roof off a car like it's a fucking can of sardines and take these two old couples from out of their car. but he couldn't stop a fucking school bus. He fell on top of the bus. His wings go inside the goddamn bus. He rocked this kid up, took his head off. He grew a new head. He playing with the fucking pipe, sticking it in and out of his fucking eye. And fuck, this movie is fucking bad. And when you look back at it all these years later, it gets worse. Another con for me would have to be the CGI. Now, I understand this is 2003 when this movie was made and it came out. I understand that. But if you just stop and think logic about this shit is so poor that you can really see the CGI like really, really good. I mean, it looks bad. You can watch this movie on Tubi TV if you want to. And I promise you, if you think about what I just said, it would all make sense. Another con for me will have to be how all these characters, I said before I said it again, how all these characters feel forced. Now, there were a lot of jokes in the movie. Not joke, but you can tell there was some implied jokes, but some of the jokes are just cringeworthy. Another scene in this movie where you see this guy who was supposed to be a kid who knew how to hotwire the car or something, and the writing was just, like I said, the writing was so bad with that. And matter of fact, I forgot to mention, this is one of those films that I used to constantly watch all the time, and I memorized this movie so much that every scene I used to imitate every fucking scene in this movie. Like the scene when the boy was on the bus, something is trying to kill her. Like, if you don't say you're on your way, we will be eating, you won't be eating it. Like, that shit to me is a fucking comedy. And that's why I say this movie is a fucking comedy. It's still been a fucking comedy. All that shit is a comedy to me because how bad the dialogue is. Like I said earlier in the review, we were going to get to it, and here we go. So, I just want to start off by saying that don't get offended when I say this, okay? Because my Nightmare on Elm Street 2 video got reported for like some type of hate speech and all that kind of stuff. YouTube decided to keep the video up. So hopefully this video doesn't get any of those things. But like I said, people, don't get offended, okay? When I say this, don't get asshole. But Jeepers Creepers 2 is loaded. It is a loaded gun filled with homosexual subtext, or should I say gay subtext. I mean, there are so many boys in this fucking movie with their shirt off. You got boys showing their ass. You got boys sitting on top of the fucking school bus, tanning and shit. There's boys that's doing and saying creepy things to each other. And when you look back at this movie and think about the director, that's not a good thought. That's what I'm trying to say, because this movie is fucking gay subtext written all over it. And like I said, I'm not trying to badmouth any gay people, anything like that. I'm just sharing my opinion, okay? But like I said, this shit does not age well when you look at this shit in today. But like I said, some people might like this movie, but for me, this movie is bad. My grade for this movie would have to be an F, because like I said, I still like the movie. There's still some enjoyment there. If I'm in the mood for a creeper movie, don't get me wrong, I will watch 1 and I will watch part 2 back to back. You'll hear my thoughts on 3 soon. But like I said, 2 is just not good. My overall thoughts is that this movie, despite the gay subtext all over this fucking movie, it's still entertaining. I guess you say it's entertainingly bad, but it's not one of those films, just like the folk film, you can recommend to people because of the director of the film. So that's pretty much going to wrap up my review on this movie. If you want to get in touch with your boy, my social media link will always be in the description down below. So make sure you drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that fucking bell notification so that way when I drop another lit ass video, you'll be the first ones to get it. And I hope to catch you here in my next video. Peace.